Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. My name is Kelvin, and I'm the Marcom Specialist for Glodon, Malaysia. And I will be your MC of today. It's my great honor to have you all together with us this afternoon. Before we kickstart today's webinar, let me just remind you to the following rules and regulations while you're attending this webinar. First, engage with us by using the Q&A panel to send in your questions at point of the webinar, which we will answer you in the Q&A session. Second, chat messengers and private messengers might not be responded on time, so please use the Q&A panel only. Third, you are muted during the webinar to ensure our speaker delivers his speech without any interruptions. Besides, for those who wish to have an in-depth discussion with us, please feel free to contact us at sca-marketing@global.glodon.com after this webinar, and we will surely respond to your email. Lastly, there will be a webinar survey sent to everyone at the end of this session. Kindly help us to complete the webinar survey and verify your email address, as the certificate will send to your email once you completed the feedback form. Today, we are proud to present you with how Glodon Cubicost simplified your progress claim submission, Glodon SCA Certification Webinar, which presented by our speaker, Mr. Mike Ng, Country Product Manager of Glodon, Malaysia. Before that, let me formally introduce our speaker of today with his background. The Country Product Manager in Glodon, Mike Ng is graduated from University of Melbourne, Australia, with a degree of Building and Planning, Property and Constructions. He has overall 16 experience in the built environment industries. Also, he currently leads the AEC organization Digital Transformation Operations. With that, he is an experienced user and respected quantity surveyor among major developers, consultants, and contractor firms in Malaysia. So, without further ado, let's welcome Mr. Mike Ng. Mike, welcome to have you back. And I believe our technical issues has been solved at the moment. So let's pass the time to Mike now.
Hello, guys. Welcome to today's webinar. So my name is Mike. First of all, I would like to thank all of you for taking time to join this webinar today. So, and also as what Kelvin has mentioned earlier about the introduction of myself. Actually, I work as a QS for 8 years in Malaysia, around in developers, consultants, and also contractors firms before. So I can really relate to today's topic about progress claims because I've been there before. All right. Actually, today's session, we will actually explore, and also I would like to share some of my knowledge about progress claims and also the common practices in the industry to prepare the progress claims, as well as some challenges that we know that during the pandemics and also the post-pandemic eras, what are the challenges that QS will encounter when they prepare the claim. And lastly will be the effective ways to actually leverage the digital BIM solutions in your progress claims. All right. So, all right. Without before we continue on to this session, so I would like to run a live poll here. I want to run a live poll so you can tell me what is your level of understanding of today's topic. All right, so later on you will see a pop-up live poll windows. Yep, so you just let me know whether you are new to this or you have some experience, or if you are an expert, then I will like to have some, we can always share our knowledge together in this session. All right, So I will run the poll. I will let the poll running for another 30 seconds, so that you guys can tell me about what is your level of understanding on today's topic. All right. Okay. Right. I think I will end the poll now. I'll end the poll now. Okay. So you can see mostly, let me see. Okay. I think most of you guys are actually new to this topic, and also some of you may have some experiences as well. So without further ado, let me start today's webinar. All right, progress claims interim payments application. I think there are a lot of terminology in the industry, in the construction world. So some may call it like interim payment applications, but I think progress claim is the most common term that will actually pop up whenever you are involved in a construction project. Because as a contractor undertakes a project for a client, so as the work is actually progressively completed on site, right? So it is actually essential for the contractors to actually summarize what they have completed at at an agreed period. Normally will be stipulated in the contract documents, and you can ask the contractor ask for the payments from the clients to get some cash flow for the operation on site. Especially projects is actually quite complicated and actually involve billions of. So that's why it is relatively important that and it become one of the major routine or tasks for QS to complete every month. So in the pre-pandemic era, right, QS normally rely on conventional way of working out monthly work done quantities like this. So generally, so mid of the month, so QS will actually print out a set of drawings, and maybe will schedule a site walk with the clerk of work or site supervisor. So this will help the QS to understand or to identify what is the scope of work to be claimed for the payments from clients for that particular month, especially the completed work done. And then during the site walk, so QS will normally hold on to all these drawings, and then we'll walk the site with the site supervisor or the clerk of works, and then when the clerk of works point out like this part of the works has been done, like for example this part of the basement car park has been completed, then the QS will take out the basement car park floor plans, and maybe they will use a different color or highlighter pen to actually highlight a different work done. For example, maybe like this part of the works has been completed up to concrete casting, and then this part of the work only completed up to the formwork. And then after finish the site walks, and then the QS will actually go back to the office. Maybe will actually, based on that demarcated drawings, they will start to compute the total quantities for each completed work in the most commonly used one is the Excel spreadsheets, like what you have seen, what you are seeing now on the screen. So basically, this is something that QS will normally compile inside the Excel spreadsheets with all the columns, with all the formulas linked and already preset and linked to multiple spreadsheets. And then they will measure on the drawings, and then they will input or key in the measurements on these spreadsheets to derive the quantities. Then after they finish with the measurements, normally they will come to, they will update the so-called the total quantities to a detailed BQ. Normally will be inside Excel spreadsheet as well, and then complete with a cover letter and also a few attachments like printed drawings with the color demarcations that and then also like maybe like some other documents like your purchase orders for the material on site. All those will have to be compiled with the progress claim applications, and then they will submit that to the consultant QS for valuation. So now I would like to run another live poll here. So I would like to know, how do you prepare your progress claim currently? So is it based on manual measurements with Excel spreadsheets like what I mentioned just now, or you are utilizing some quantity takeoff software, and then you maybe couple with your Excel spreadsheets to work out the quantities, or there are others that you are other ways that you doing to actually prepare your progress claim. All right. I'm actually looking at the results, the live poll result here live on my screens. Actually, I can see that again, most of you guys are actually still majority. I mean, like 70% are actually still using the manual measurements and actual Excel spreadsheets. Okay, I will let the poll run for another 10 seconds. Then I will close the poll and then I will show you guys the results for this. Okay, so I will end the poll now. All right, so you can see on the screen that majority, like I think the demographics, you can actually see that actually almost 70% of you guys are actually still using the manual measurements and the Excel spreadsheets. So I think that many of the QS already know that there are some prevailing challenges throughout this process when you you preparing your progress claim using a conventional workflow. So let me walk you guys through. I think during the pandemic and the post-pandemic time, so I think a lot of the physical interaction between personnel on site has been controlled or even reduced significantly. I think that's actually lead to like QS, you cannot really rely fully on the conventional way to get your progress claim work done, right? As because going to the site and then do a site walk with the supervisor may also requires a lot of physical interaction, right? So maybe the new norm, what I've heard of is actually like the QS may require the site supervisor maybe to submit the drawings with some remarks on it to the QS first, and then the QS will actually take these drawings to go to the site to verify the work done separately. Okay, so that's actually something that is a new norm for the QS to do. And then when the QS come back with all the drawings, right? So they will have to use, do a lot of markings and everything. So there are instances that QS may, lose track on the latest versions of drawings. Knowing that there are so many documents and versions of the drawing collected on site every day. So it is actually very challenging to deal with enormous amount of documents and also ensure that everyone is referring to the single source of information when preparing the progress claim. So that's why it will actually take up extra time for QS. When they receive the drawings, they have to cross-check with their own records to make sure that that is the correct versions of the drawings being used for the demarcations. And then that's why also the during this kind of post-pandemic way of doing it, so there are tendencies that there are miscommunications between the both parties. Like maybe when the QS they read the notes or the color remarks on the drawings, they might understand it differently from what the site supervisor want to highlights there. So that's why there is a miscommunication there, and it will lead to the following challenges, whereby the QS may undermeasure or overmeasure in the computation of the quantities for the progress claim. So on top of that, the use of Excel spreadsheets for measurements is also another underlying issue that I think most of us somehow know that there are risks in whenever we are using Excel spreadsheets. That's why we need to do a lot of checking. So don't take my words for that. I think because according to a study, oops, hang on. Okay, according to a study by this Carnegie University, so actually 94% of spreadsheets, Excel spreadsheets, contains error. So that is actually not something that we are, we always heard. I mean, like the common errors that normally included inaccurate data, right? Inaccurate data, and then errors from the spreadsheet that you reuse from your previous projects. And then because maybe inside there you already have some formula linking errors, and also maybe you have changed something that actually caused the so-called the formulas to become invalid. So all these kind of errors actually contains in the Excel spreadsheets. So to quote a case, I think I read somewhere that I think JP Morgan Chase, right, once they lost, I mean, more than $6 billion in one of the incidents that is in part due to the Excel spreadsheets errors. So because like including like they copying and pasting the incorrect informations from multiple spreadsheets. So that's why we cannot underestimate the consequences of not checking the spreadsheets thoroughly before we use it to work out our progress claim work done. So lastly, when the QS submitted their so-called progress claims to the consultant QS for the valuations, so most of the time, the consultant QS may challenge the contractor QS, like how they derive these kind of quantities submitted on the claim. So they need to go back and check from multiple spreadsheets, actually to prove to the consultants that to justify the work that they claim from inside the BQ or the progress claim. So, and then also without a proper documentation on site, so it is actually very common that QS might miss out some of the important documents, and also they cannot justify the work done submitted to the consultants. So we can generally see that there are four main challenges in the conventional way of methods of preparing the progress claims. So one is actually the efficiency. Let me pull out my laser pointers. So efficiency means it takes up a lot of times to actually complete the progress claim preparation, the compilation works. And at the same time, when we are in this post-pandemic era, so a lot of physical interactions is unavoidable. And then the accuracy of the quantifications also become a question marks, because the errors may comes from the Excel spreadsheets that they use to quantify or to derive the quantities. The transparency means the justification work is actually hindered by the incomplete support documents submitted. And also the conventional ways actually is the informations are all unfederated, means they don't integrate well, and then maybe like they cannot and view the informations, the same informations from the single source here. All right, so how can the BIM solutions actually benefits the contractor QS and other stakeholders in a construction project. So first of all, we need to establish a federated BIM cost model that can combine all the data into a single BIM models to be used throughout the whole project life cycle. Also from design stage to tender to construction, even to the operation stage. So through TAS, contractor QS can import the CAD drawings, PDF scan drawings, or even the IFC or Revit file to TAS to actually build up a BIM 3D model. So then it link with the BQ prepared in the TBQ to form a BIM cost model that we mentioned just now. So take design and build contract as an example. So if you have a federated BIM cost model, so it means you have to start modeling during the design stage already. So during the design stage, you model it, and then it comes to the tendering stage. The BIM models is already rich with all sort of details inside there. So this can actually facilitate a better resource and also cost planning during the tendering stage, because you can use various construction zonings to improve the accuracy and also the competitiveness of your tender pricing when you are preparing it. So during the construction stage, so the same BIM cost model can be passed on to the project team on site to use for further planning and also scheduling, even for like subcontracting works and also progress claim. So when you reach the practical completion of your projects, then because during the construction, you're already updating your model, the BIM cost model, and then when you reach become a perfect as-built model for finalization of account. So in TAS C4 version, we launched it earlier this year. So we had actually added a very useful feature to deal with dividing the BIM cost model to extract quantities segment by segment. So we call it segmentation. So you can find it in the element list. Normally you see on the left side of TS working area. So there are actually 4 types of site elements included in segmentation, which are designated for different user scenarios. For example, you can see here construction zone, subcontractings, progress claims, and even customs, right? So nowadays, construction projects are getting more and more complicated. So it is actually unavoidable that you need to manage multiple layers of contractors and subcontractors on site concurrently. And then I believe it is very common to establish proper zonings to your site based on construction sequences or even milestones, so that you can easily coordinate which group of the subcontractors to work on site at the right schedule to avoid congestion on site. So in TAS, you can use construction zone segmentation to classify your model to separate zones, like the one that you can see on the screen now. Okay, so you can clearly pull out an area on the floor plan to mark it as zone 1, zone 2, or zone 3 with a different fill color. So during the extraction of quantities for your progress claims or even your construction plannings, you can enable the construction zone classifications, and you can view the quantities for your elements being segregated according to the zones defined earlier in this kind of format. So it's easier, make it easier for you to extract or pull out the quantities from here. And then same goes to subcontracting segmentation. You can use this to define the areas for respective subcontractor. For example, if the construction area is too big, normally main contractor will engage 2 subcontractor teams to work together on that particular floor plan. So therefore, it is actually very important to clearly divide the work to avoid so-called consequential conflicts on sites, as maybe also like future disputes on the portion of work between these two contractors, these two subcontractors. So in conventional way, I think you may need to carefully identify and segregate the quantities for different subcontractors in your maybe Excel spreadsheets. And then if the thing is not being done, these processes are not being taken care of, it may actually cause a double measure to the quantity, like maybe the items that you already appointed to these subcontractors may appear in another subcontract package as well. So these are something that's the QS need to avoid once and for all during the construction. And then, but using the subcontracting segmentation, it will automatically help you to divide the quantity. So when you pull out the area like this, for this one, maybe this one is subcontractor A, this one is subcontractor B on your model. So when you run the calculations, then the calculation returns the result returns will actually segregate the quantities according to the zones or the subcontractor segmentation that you have already defined earlier, to give you a very clear cut quantities to be extracted, to be used for your subcontract documents, or even for your valuation of the subcontractor's progress claim. So while for progress claim segmentation here, so it can be used the same way as the construction zone and the subcontractor segmentation I showed you guys earlier, but we design with more additional functions to work together with the progress claim segmentation to give you more flexibility when using it to divide and extract the quantities. So because on the site, there are a lot of instances that maybe like the work done you want to claim is actually by elements. So like, for example, you refer to these drawings over here. So QS will normally, like, they will draw on the drawings, right? They will actually make some color demarcation on the drawings. Maybe they will pull out these blue areas, like, okay, this one is actually means all the elements, like the structural elements, like the slab beams, columns, are already fully completed. So using this kind of demarcation drawings, when you work inside TAS, you can easily do like this. So you create a progress claim segmentation, define your calculation scope first. And then after that, you just draw a segmentation on your drawings. Of course, maybe like some items you want to exclude from this segmentation, you can select them, and then you can exclude them. Maybe like this, you can exclude them. And then after that, you calculate based on the one that you have segmented. After that, you can select the segmentation and view the quantities. You will get the quantities of all the elements defined and covered in that segmentation itself. So when you choose to view quantity by categories to extract your quantities, you can enable the progress claim classification. Then it will further help you to segregate state for you. Also, when you want to check, like maybe you want to check or justify something like this, for a second, maybe I replay a bit for this part. Hang on, let me play. All right, hang on for a second. Okay, here. Sorry about that. What I want to tell is that when you are doing justification of work done for your progress claims to your consultants, you can always use the view expression here to actually check like this. You check on certain elements, and then it will also tell you like these quantities, how it derive, and then it actually belongs to which segmentation in your model here, right? All right, let me go to the next slide. So if your trade works on site has a different progress. So for example, in this drawings here, you can see actually some of the area, the it actually marked with concrete already completed. And then some of the areas, maybe like here, the yellow and the green color, is actually overlapping. It actually tells you that maybe this area, overlapping areas, uh, is already completed for the rebar and the formwork, but it doesn't actually complete until the concrete casting. So like this kind of scenario, right? This kind of scenario. So to do that, so you can actually draw the segmentation on the drawings, on the models, like what I'm show you guys just now. And then you can actually select the elements within that segmentation. And then you use this so-called set associated segmentation function to define the track work to be included. So you can, with the distinct color indication that we already put here, so you can easily tell that which part of the model is actually completed up to which particular trade works. So we can see here, like if it is shown is this dark green color, means all the works are actually done inside this segmentation. But when you see this one is a batch color, means this one only the form works are completed at the moment. And then if you see another blue color, means it's only the concrete uh, is actually claimed or being included in the this progress claim segmentation here. So when you run the calculations, when you have set the associated segmentation like that way, and then when you run the calculations, when you view your expressions or view the quantities by selecting any of the entities on the models, you can see that the segregated accordingly, right? So you can see on inside here. So the formwork, because I claim for this particular item, I only claim the formworks in progress claim number 1. That's why the progress claim number 1, it will only show me the area of the formworks quantities. And then here, but I claim another one is a concrete volume for my progress claim number 2. That's why it's shown in blue color. So it will show another additional rows over here to show me that actually concrete are being claimed 100% in progress claim number 2. All right. So it make it easier for you to extract the omit, to check your quantities, and also to extract the quantities for your progress claim as well. So I actually have a video to show you guys next to see how does it work to set the associated segmentation. All right, you can see here we create a progress claim segmentation first, and then I define maybe I want column, beam, and slab to be calculated included in this segmentation. So I can always import my markup drawings to the TS. And then now I just want to see, because this one is columns, so I just show all the columns. And then I select the columns accordingly. Then I can actually, you see here, for this part of the columns that I selected, is actually the notes that is means the site supervisor already told me that, okay, these columns are completed, formwork, rebar, and also concrete. So that's why I can put here, I can select formwork and concrete for progress claim number 1. And then, okay, so the rest of the columns like this, I can select. I can go to set associated segmentation. This part of the columns, I just want to claim for formwork. So I just select formwork and click OK. So now I can proceed with the rest of the elements like the slab and beam. I can repeat the same step. I select, I set associated segmentation to define what are the trade words to be included. After that, I run the calculations. So the calculations will be based on the built-in measurement rules, and then all the deduction will be automatically processed. And then when you view expressions, when you click on the elements on the model, you can see in the view expression here, or the view quantity panel here, you will see this particular entity is actually claimed 100% for the formworks and also the concrete volume. And then when I select another one, which is in the batch color, so now you can see that actually only the formwork quantities are being shown inside the view quantities here, or view expression here. And then when you want to extract your quantities, okay, now I show you guys exactly why I continue on for the progress claim number 2. So those like I complete it with the concrete. And then when you run the calculations, then it will show you that, okay, this part of the formwork is inside progress claim number 1, and then concrete is inside the progress claim number 2. All right. So it will be easier for you to view and extract the quantities accordingly. So also this will work in the view quantity by category. When you enable the progress claim classification, then you will be able to see like these quantities are automatically defined for progress claim according to progress claim. You can see that progress claim number 2 here, the area of formworks is showing 0, means because in progress claim number 1, I already claimed my formworks quantities, and then progress claim number 2, it will actually show only the concrete because I just claimed the concrete work done in my progress claim number 2. All right. So now that's actually show you guys how does it work for the different trade works completion. All right. So another one is actually work done progressively by percentage for vertical elements. So I think there is, I mean, like occasionally you will do some vertical progressing like this. So maybe you will want to claim not the full quantities for your vertical elements, right? So we have the flexibility here to do so. You can, we have this define work done function that you can make use of to deal with this kind of scenario, right? To define a custom percentage for the work to be quantified. So what you need to do, you can select the entity and then you just click on the define work done function, and then you can set a percentage for that particular selected elements to claim for that particular segmentation. And then when you calculate, right, so inside the view expression and also the view quantity by category, you will be able to see that the quantities are being automatically help you to divide according to the percentage that you defined earlier. So you can see that on top part here, the quantity is already multiplied with 30% because for progress claim number 1, for that particular elements, I just want to claim 30%. So with that definition of the percentage, the custom percentage, the software will automatically multiply it and derive the quantity for you. So it will also label it accordingly to your segmentation as well. All right, the next one is the video to show you guys how it works. Okay, define work done. So the same thing, I show you guys here, I create 2 progress claim segmentation first. One is the first progress claim, and then another one is the progress claim number 2. And then of course, you have to define the calculation scope whenever you create a progress claim. Okay, now I hide all my horizontal elements. I just show the vertical elements here. So I select maybe this part of the columns, right? I want to define the work done like this part of the work done. I just want to claim maybe in progress claim number 1, I just want to claim 30%. Okay. and then I click OK, then it's already set for that particular items to be quantified only 30%. So we have already done with the progress claim number 1. So now we continue to progress claim number 2. So I select some of the columns here. I can add another row. Okay, I just define for progress claim number 2, I want to claim the rest of the percentage. So let's say if you put in something that already make it exceeded 100%, then you will prompt you guys on that. So I continue on for all the rest. And then when I run the calculation, so I will be able to see that the quantities has been multiplied accordingly to the percentage I defined. So here, what I want to show you guys here is actually when you view your model in 3D, where those hatch lines actually denotes that the works has been modified manually to your own percentage. Means you know that, okay, these work done are not claimed 100%, but to a custom percentage that you define. Okay, when I view the expression here, when I select the quantity, there you can see that actually like this part of the work in progress claim number 1, this column I claim full, and then this of the elements, you can see that the columns I claim for 30%, and then the rest of 70% is in progress claim number 2. All right. And then same goes to the view quantity by category as well. You'll be able to see that the quantities has shown here is actually already multiplied with the percentage and derive the accurate quantity for you here. So you can see progress claim number 1, and then the areas is 245, and then 899 is a 70% here. All right. And then the next one is check segmentation. So I believe that when you have processed multiple progress claims, all right, along the way, so there was a times that you might want to revisit, like what are the work done has been claimed in different progress claim. So you can use this check segmentation function to help you to, flexibly view what are the work done being claimed in different segmentation. You can, when you click on this check segmentation, it will pop out another windows over here. So it will show you all the segmentation or the progress claim segmentation that you have created. And then you can check on the box, and then it will actually show you in real time which part of the models is actually belongs to this progress claim number 1. And then you can even check the cumulative work done. Like for example, you check all 3 boxes of the progress claims, then they will actually combine it into one single image, so that to show you the green color is progress claim number 1, the orange color is the progress claim number 2, and the blue color is the progress claim number 3. Okay, so another one is actually when you mouse over hover your mouse to any entity, right? So it will actually show you the information like which progress claim it belongs to, and then how many percentage as well, like what you see on the screen now. So whenever you want to use this so-called check segmentation image to prove to your clients, you can always save it as a very high definition JPEG format file. You just click on the Save As Picture function. It will actually help you to save it into your desktop, and then you can use it to further explain to your consultant as well for the justification of the work. So this is actually how it works in the video. So like what I say, when you click on the check segmentation, you will see these pop-up windows, and then you will list down all the progress claim segmentation. Let me hide it first. And then when you click on each individual one, right, it will actually show you in real time on the model which of the progress claim. And then when you select all, then you will actually combine everything. And then when you hover your mouse over, then you will see the information. And then you can always click save to save the so-called your high definition picture of these demarcations to your local disk, or to actually save it and email it to your clients as well. Okay, that's how check segmentation works for you. Okay, let's do a quick recap on what scenarios that I have actually covered just now. So basically, for segmentation, we have only 4 different major steps, or I listed down over here. So create a segmentation, next you associate the work done and also to the segmentation, and then you check what is actually covered inside that segmentation, and then lastly you will view your quantity for that particular segmentation. So in scenario 1 that I mentioned just now is actually construction zones. So if your work demarcation is based on your floor areas or different zonings, then you can first create the construction zone, and then you draw the work done in the construction zone as well. And then you use check segmentation to help you to clearly know that which zones is actually which part of the model being included in that particular segmentation. And lastly is actually use wheel quantity or wheel quantity by categories to extract to see the segmented quantities and extract the quantities as well. Then the rest of the 3 scenarios here is actually mostly for progress claims. So to deal with horizontal elements, then you have to create a progress claim segmentation, and then you use define work done or you draw the work done on the floor plans, and then you can define already so for example, your slab, your beams and everything. And then you use check segmentation to help you to check whether which part of the works has been included. And then lastly will be the wheel quantity by categories. And then for vertical elements, so you can create a progress claim segmentation, use define work done to define the percentage of the completion for that particular vertical elements. And then you proceed with check segmentation and also wheel quantity by categories. Last but not least is chronological progress of work done. Means maybe your different trade works for that particular elements is not at the same progress. Then you can create a progress claim segmentation, and then you use that associated segmentation to define what trade work to be included for that particular element inside that progress claim. And then the last 2 steps is the same, check segmentation to wheel on the model. And then lastly will be the quantities viewing. All right. I think what I have shared with you guys earlier is actually about like TS. You can actually use the segmentation function to help you to divide your quantities inside the models to extract the quantities according to the right quantities inside that progress claim. So remember the challenges that I mentioned just now is the justification of the work. So normally when contractor QS, you submit your progress claims, majority of the times the consultant QS will actually challenge your quantities, like Mr. Contractor QS, why you claim this much for this particular BQ items. So you need to actually justify your work by showing in the drawings or showing how you work out the quantities, right? So I can actually share with you guys one good example of our clients in Malaysia. So actually the consultant, they actually requires the contractors to submit the 3D models alongside with the progress claims to actually show the work done each month instead of the conventional way of submitting a hard copy drawings to the consultants. So the contractor will actually mark the work done in their 3D models and using the segmentations, and you can share it with the consultants. So with the clear demarcation within the 3D drawings, right? 3D models, sorry. Then the consultants and the contractors, they can easily visualize the work done, and they can easily come to a mutual understanding, like what kind of, like mutual understanding of what uh, quantities has been generated, or what work has been claimed for that particular BQ items, and then whether the quantities are actually correct also can be checked from the 3D models here. All right, and then when you link your quantities to the BOQ, the bill of quantities that you have prepared in TBQ, you'll be able to see the quantities details to understand what are you included in what have you included in the quantity that you claim in your progress claim. So which means every month you can actually generate a BOQ with the cumulative work done with the quantity details to actually justify what you are actually including inside this progress claim. And then you can also use the, like for example here inside this screenshot. So whenever your quantity is being challenged by your consultants, you can always come back to your BOQ inside TBQ. You just refer to that particular quantities. So if that is linked with TAS, right, then you will see a TAS annotation inside the quantity. When you click on this quantity, then you will be able to view the quantity details at the bottom of the windows here. So you will show you what models you link this quantity from, which task model you link this quantity from, and then also it will show you the classification conditions like which floor, which materials, which grade of the concrete, and what volumes is being linked here. So if you want to show your consultants in your so-called 3D models, you can always use the reversely check function in the 3D in TAS to help you to quickly locate the elements, and then you can use the view expressions or the to actually show your consultants QS how you derive the quantities as well. So not only to your consultant QS, you can also use that to actually justify your certification of work done for your subcon as well. All right. So to summarize it, to summarize everything, so the preparation of the monthly progress claim, if you use our Cubicost solutions, to do that, here means the TS and also TBQ. So it will actually take you like 1 or 2 days to get it done, compared to the conventional methods that maybe you will easily need to take 2 to 5 days to complete. And then also using this kind of methods that I mentioned earlier, you just need to submit a digital copy of your task model, your task cost model with the segmentations, as well as maybe a TBQ project files to your consultants, and then they were able to cross-check the quantities against the 3D models. So it's actually more efficient, and it will actually avoid a lot of rework. Means you don't have to redo the demarcations of the drawings over and over again in every month. You don't have to print out the drawings and then cross-check with the previous drawings. All this can be avoided, and then it can give you an accurate quantities, and you can actually justify using your 3D models, and then it will actually cause no disputes in your progress claim. And last but not least is actually using the federated beam cost model is actually help you to integrate all your information, means your quantities information, your cost information into a single beam cost model there. All right. I hope today's my sharings actually shed some light to your current progress claim workflow, so you can actually try to explore the segmentation functions inside our TAS C4 versions, and also try to try to streamline your progress claim workflow from today's. All right. Okay, that's all from my sharing today. Thank you, everyone. So I will pass this back to Kelvin. Kelvin?
All right. So thank you, Mike, for the presentation and all the participants who stay with us until this time. What a marvelous and fruitful sharing. And I do really think our audience have a better knowledge and how Glodon Cubicost can simplify the progress claim. Now, we'll go ahead and pick some questions for the Q&A section now. So Mike, let's together to have a look at the Q&A section together. And then for the first one, as we can see from, wow, there's a lot of questions that being asked by our audience today. And then it seems to be let us select a few due to the time availability. And then the first one is from the name of Muhammad Hossam. And then Mr. Omar Hossam, thank you for your questions. And then the first question is, argument always come in when there is a disagreement on the method of measurement for elements. What TAS can offer to minimize the conflict? Mike, your turn.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mohammed. I think to answer your questions, using TAS, right, actually with the 3D models, because we have already built in some standard measurement rules inside there. So basically, when you open up your 3D models, if there is a disagreement, like what I say, if someone challenge your quantities, you can always open up the models, and then you can always use the view expressions that or the view quantity functions inside TAS. And then from there, we have a 3D deduction function that you can easily, it will show you step by step how we derive the quantity, like which part of the elements has been deducted and which part is being added in. So all this is actually based on the built-in measurement rules. So that will actually help you to minimize all these conflicts or arguments with your, even with your consultant, with the clients, the consultants, or even with the subcon as well. Yep, I hope I answer your questions there.
All right, thank you, Mike, for the first questions. And then for the second questions is come from Vincent Tan. And then his questions is, can I have multiple segmentation for same entities or locations? Mike, I think you can justify more on this.
Multiple, and you can actually progress claim entity. You can, we will not have the overlapping on the progress claim segmentation on the same entity, but you can actually normally when you deal with this kind of, I mean, like overlapping, maybe is because like what I mentioned earlier, different trade works. Like for example, in this progress claim number 1, right, for this particular slab, maybe you just claim for your so-called your formworks or your formwork or rebar, right? So maybe like for progress claim number 1, you just draw one time, and then maybe you plan to claim for the concrete in the progress claim number 2. But for our progress claim segmentation, it is actually smart enough to detect that, okay, you have actually claimed this before. So that's why when you draw the segmentation again on top of the another progress claim segmentation, it will actually help you to automatically, deduct it out. I mean, like it will not overlap. Okay, so but like what I mentioned just now, if you come across this kind of scenario, you can always use the define work done to actually help you to not define work done, sorry, is set associated segmentation to help you to define like what are the trade works to be included for that particular segmentations, and then you will be able to claim the rest of the I mean, like you can extract the quantities for the another one. I mean, like the concrete in the subsequent progress claim. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mike, for the second questions. Due to the time availability and the technical issues occur at the beginning of the webinar, so at this moment, we only to take the last questions in order to catch up some time. And then one last questions, and I think this is from Emily Sell. And then I think these questions will be, what is the benefit to have beam cost model at initial stage of constructions? Mike, I think you can answer this also.
Okay, it's we actually talk a lot about digital constructions, and then we heard a lot about like digital twins, this kind of concept. So that's why I think the benefits of having this beam cost model is actually you can because you build up the models from the initial stage, mean your design stage, means you can allow all the stakeholders to actually collaborate, and meaning like based on these 3D models, you can based on these beam models, you can give some review or your advice to make the design more optimized. And then with the optimized design, right, means when you come to the tendering or your construction stage, so everything is pretty much accurate and correct. So you don't have to worry about like those VO, variation orders, and also maybe like some crashes on the between different elements on site. And also you will be able to allow the contractors to actually manage their wastage on site more accurately, means they because all the models has been optimized from the beginning stage, right? So your wastage during the construction periods will be actually minimized to a very low percentage. And also because of all the things has been integrated into the beam cost model, so that's why the contractors can also plan ahead, and they can also try to use that to control the costing of the entire project during the construction. Yep. I think that is some of the benefits that I can think of for when you is actually to have the beam cost model from the beginning stage of the construction life cycle.
Okay, thank you, Mike, for the wonderful answer to the questions just now. So we are profoundly grateful for the overwhelming response by asking us tons of questions. However, due to the time availability, we won't be able to answer all questions in this session. Rest assured that we will answer all your questions in email form in a few days later.